Welcome to a special midweek version of the Cohn Phone. I'm Grant Cohn. Usually it's Vish and I in the afternoon on Mondays, but God love him. He's still a student and he's got a project today. He's not just any student. He's a computer science something or other. I don't even understand it. It's so difficult. And he has a project. I always wondered why he doesn't have more of those and he doesn't cancel more often. So it's like the first time he's ever had to cancel because of school. Vish, good luck. I hope you get an A+. We'll reschedule for the next couple of days. For now, it'll be me and you. I know most of the time I just do this on the weekend, so maybe there's some of you that have time on 1 o'clock on a Monday. So first, let me just get a couple of things off my chest, and then I'll take calls for an hour 15. I've been thinking a lot about Trey Lance. I wrote him off early, and I've been thinking more about him because it seems to me all of these quarterbacks other than Trevor Lawrence are imperfect. And it's interesting to weigh their strengths and weaknesses. And now it's Trey Lance week because he's the guy with the pro day. So I've been thinking more about him. And, first of all, people just write him off because of his lack of experience. And it's true. He only threw, 300 passes in college or whatever. But why is Justin Fields' 600 throws at Ohio State more valuable than Trey Lance's 300 throws at North Dakota State? At North Dakota State, this is why I think Kyle Shanahan might be coming around to Trey Lance. You can't really see much on film because it's only one season and it's 2019, but as he digs in more, as his guys work him out, John Beck, as he goes to his own pro day, as he sees what he's become as an older prospect, he could like him. He could say, this was one of the more difficult evaluations I've ever had. It took the entire process, but when we were done, it was clear he was the best. That's what he could say. So, the thing with Trey Lance, as compared to Justin Fields or Mac Jones, it just seems like what Trey Lance did at North Dakota State is more impressive. Even though it was 1AA and he wasn't facing tough opponents, the offense he was in, it was a pro-style offense. He's comfortable under center. He's comfortable turning his back to the defense. He's comfortable taking control of the offense at the line of scrimmage. That's something usually only veteran quarterbacks in the NFL do. Something that Alex Smith was good at, something that Tom Brady is good at, Peyton Manning was good at. That's high-level stuff, and it's not necessarily a knock against Justin Fields or Mac Jones that they don't do much of that. That's how a lot of college offenses are. Justin Fields and Ohio State in particular, what they do is they rush up to the line of scrimmage like it's a hurry-up play, like it's no huddle. The defense has to match up, react. They get set. They declare what they're going to do. Then Ohio State stops. Everyone looks at the sideline. The coach tries to decipher what the pressure is going to be, what the coverage is going to be, and then he calls a play that beats it. That beats it. So the way I look at Fields is he's kind of like a joystick. You can trust him to execute the play. He's got a great arm. He's accurate. He's got a strong arm. He can make any throw. And if you block it up correctly, if guys get open, if he sees it, he can throw it. He's also very fast. So you can use him in the running game as well. You can have him do all kind of stuff like RG3 did and Cam Newton do. But he hasn't shown the ability to control an offense, to get to the line of scrimmage, change a play, look at the pressure and decide how to beat it, look at the coverage and decide how to beat it. That's stuff that Trey Lance was doing at 19. And he was doing it so well that he never turned the ball over. Now, again, it was 1AA football, but it's the same school that produced Carson Wentz. And Carson Wentz was very good until he tore his ACL. And don't take my word for it. Listen to Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan said he was the best player in the league in 2017 until he tore his ACL. Went to North Dakota State, ran the same offense, prepared him pretty well until he got hurt. And you know what? Carson Wentz was not as good of a player at North Dakota State as Trey Lance was. Compare their numbers. Best year Carson Wentz ever had was 25 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Trey Lance had 28 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Better athlete, better quarterback, better prospect than Carson Wentz, who Kyle Shanahan loved. So if North Dakota has that track record of preparing a high-level athlete to play in the NFL because of that pro-style offense, then why won't it work again? This is a better athlete, a better prospect. I think he's more intriguing than Justin Fields. Justin Fields, excellent athlete, but how good is he going to be when he's under pressure? when things don't go according to plan. All of a sudden, he hesitates. He'll turn a sack into a turnover. These are things he did at Ohio State. Decision-making is an issue for him, just as it was for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't see how Kyle Shanahan could look at Justin Fields' weaknesses and feel like he can fix them when he couldn't fix the same weaknesses for Jimmy Garoppolo. They're the same weaknesses. Decision-making. I've talked about this in terms of Kyle Shanahan. It's a trait you have or you don't. It's expressed at a young age, like intelligence. How do you make someone smarter? How do you improve someone's IQ or SAT? You really don't. At a certain point, you are what you are as in terms of your brain power, your intelligence, and your decision-making. Now, decision-making and intelligence have no overlap. They're totally not related. Some of the smartest people can make some of the worst decisions. Some of the least intelligent, least learned people can make some of the best decisions. Different things. But, think about people in the Army. There are people commanding platoons in the Army at a very young age. These are people making high-pressure decisions. This is something you can do or you can't. So I don't know that Kyle can look at Justin and be like, well, he makes these horrendous decisions under pressure, but I can coach that out of him. Well, you didn't with Jimmy. With Trey Lance, his weaknesses are the lack of experience. I already addressed that. I think you could argue that the little experience he's had is actually more valuable than the little experience Justin Fields had, or even Mac Jones. I mean, Mac Jones playing in Alabama, how does that prepare you for the NFL? No Alabama quarterbacks work out. So I don't know. Seems to me that Trey Lance actually might be more pro ready than he gets credit for, considering the offense he was in. Carson Wentz played right away. And then, so take the experience out of it. If that's no longer an issue, then the only issue really with Trey Lance is his accuracy. Completed 66% of his passes. He's more accurate than Carson Wentz is. Now, he didn't complete as high of a percentage as Mac Jones or Justin Fields, but okay. That's something he can work on. Accuracy is fixable. Accuracy is something you can coach, you can improve. Decision-making is not. Decision-making is a God-given trait, and it seems like this guy has it, which means if he can improve his accuracy, he'll be able to execute from the pocket like Jimmy Garoppolo would. He can throw the swing passes and the slants and the Jimmy Gimmies and the occasional deep throw the way Jimmy Garoppolo did. But when things don't go according to plan, he seems like he's going to be the best quarterback, not Jones, not Fields. Jones doesn't have the athleticism to make anything happen off script. Fields has the athleticism, but not the decision-making. I'm telling you, go back and watch Indiana. That guy, when he's under pressure, there was one throw where he's about to get sacked, and instead of just taking the sack, he's about 6 inches off the ground, parallel to it, flings the ball up for grabs, blind, gets intercepted. That's bad decision-making. That's scary. You never see Trey Lance doing something like that. So I think what you're going to see is Kyle Shanahan fall in love. And you always say that the Niners don't leak their stuff. They surprise you with their big moves. Well, no one has linked them to Trey Lance. Mac Jones has been the betting favorite. Justin Fields has been the betting favorite. Trey Lance would come out of left field and kind of be on brand for them. So think about it. Go Hawks. I love you, Grant. Ha! Thanks, man. All right, one more thing. Alden Smith is wanted on a battery charge. I don't know much about it. All I want to say is this is really, really sad. I covered Alden Smith. He's 2 years younger than me. I covered him when he was 20, 21, 22. First of all, I want to say I hope this has a happy ending. The way that Aaron Donald had a happy ending, it looked like someone charged Aaron Donald with assault. And then as more details came out, Aaron Donald was like the hero of the story and the guy dropped the charges. I'm just hoping that's the case. But if it isn't, I just got to say, if you're young and you didn't see Alden Smith, what I would tell my kids in the future about Alden Smith is he's one of the saddest stories I've ever covered, one of the more tragic figures I've ever covered. He's arguably the best athlete I've ever covered. You think Nick Bosa's good. Alden Smith was amazing. He was on a record pace. He was like Lawrence Taylor. He was on a pace to be like the greatest pass rusher of all time. Now, he benefited from playing next to Justin Smith. Nick Bosa benefited from playing next to DeForest Buckner and opposite of Dee Ford. You can say that about any pass rusher. Alden Smith had every move. He had some of the longest arms, some of the most violent punches. He was so athletic. I remember he would make Joe Staley look helpless in practice, and Joe Staley wasn't helpless against anybody other than Alden Smith. The only person who could really block shut down Alden Smith was Alden Smith. One of the more self-destructive people I've ever seen. He had a ton of success early on in his life. I don't even think he was expecting it. He was the number 7 pick and he became a superstar, and he couldn't handle it. Every single time it looked like he was going to be a face of the franchise in the league, he messed it up. And it was interesting to see him hit rock bottom, wash out of the league, be out for years, come back with Dallas and play well. I don't know about you, but I was rooting for him. I was thinking this is a great story. I hope he can keep it going. I hope the Niners sign him. What a great story that would be. They didn't sign him. The Seahawks signed him. And I thought that was kind of ironic. Like, wow, if he could actually get his life together up in Seattle on the team that he was rivals with early in his career, that would be what a story that would be. But it should have been the Niners. Well, maybe it'll be no one. Now, the Seahawks haven't gotten rid of him yet. I hope this has a happy ending, but it's starting to seem like Alden Smith's whole life won't have a happy ending, which is really, really sad. Anyway, he's only 31 years old. Let's hope for the best. Sorry, Alden. All right, let's talk. Enough of me. If you want to call in, boom, there's the link, and it's also in the description now. Okay. The Alden Smith thing gets to me. I feel like I grew up alongside him. Not really. I mean, he doesn't know my name or anything, but he was younger than me. When I first was covering the 49ers, everyone was 10 years older than me. I was very intimidated in that locker room. There were a couple of people who were younger than me. It was like him, Chris Culliver, and it sucks to see their lives fall apart. Chris Culliver had that awful incident with the brass knuckles. Anyway, what's up, Korean 49er?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right, hanging in there. What's going on?
Sad to hear about Alden Smith. I thought he had all the talent in the world, and hopefully
he did
not what we think it could be.
I know.
I think this is terrible.
Yeah.
As a human story.
Yeah.
So I understand that the 49ers brass is at the Trey Lance Pro Day, their due diligence, and that's understandable since Kyle dropped the ball in 2017 on Mahomes and Watson.
Of course.
I get it. But we talked over the weekend that they moved up to get to a top 3 potential player if you're moving up to pick number 3 from pick number 12. They didn't have a bad record to have the number 3 pick. Right. They moved up and gave up future assets for a potential perennial All-Pro or Hall of Fame player.
Mm-hmm.
You have communicated that most of these quarterbacks outside of Trevor Lawrence, you do not see them having the kind of success that, maybe a Drew Brees or a Phillip Rivers had during their career.
Yes.
And that's where my heartburn comes in. I don't see. I hope I'm wrong with Trey Lance. I'll eat a bowl of crow or 2 plates of crow if I'm wrong, but we need to hit on a potential superstar player with the number 3 pick.
I agree.
I have no problems with Kyle Pitts or Penei.
Me too. That's still the direction I would go.
Or if Trevor Lawrence somehow fell from Jacksonville and the Jets say, no, we don't want him, I would do that.
Of course.
That's just the way it is. And thank you for taking my call.
Thanks so much for coming on, man. Great call.
Yep. You have a nice week.
You too. All right. I'm going to get a couple people that don't normally get on, but I'm going to try to get everyone today. Hey, man. What's up? It's been a while.
Dog, it has.
What's going on, man?
First things first, rest in peace to Black Rob. Rest in peace to DMX.
Honestly, man, it's like everyone that was on 24 Hours to Live is dying. It's really sad. I hope. Anyway, I don't want to say any more. Anyway, good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to hear all the reasons you're coming up for why Kyle Shanahan moved up to get Kyle Pitts.
Love it. You were the first one on that bandwagon, and now you've slowly indoctrinated, a large segment of 49ers Twitter.
It feels good. It feels good. I just placed my bet. I went through William Hill. It was at what did I get it at? Now I'm blanking. So it was at 8,500 to 1 through Bovada last Monday. Then it was at plus 5,000. Now I think it's at plus 3,500. So people are betting and it is going down. I got it through William Hill because I really wanted to sure if he won my actual ticket stub, but I don't have with me at work. But the bet has been made. So when it wins, yeah.
So what odds did you get?
I think it was 1,500.
So I don't understand how betting works because I always lose when I do it. So explain to me. So how much money do you make if you hit that?
It was plus 1,500. So I bet 100 to win 1,500.
So what does that mean? So how much money do you make if you win?
Enough to throw it in people's face. That's how much. Yeah.
That is so cool, man. I hope they do it. I feel like whatever they do is going to be shocking, and I feel like that means it's not going to be Fields or Jones. It's going to be something shocking. And if they do that, I have so much respect for him. Wouldn't you?
A ton. Only because so Kyle Shanahan sold us this vision of a big slot for 4 seasons.
Yes, he did.
So what is that about? It's all I don't know.
I mean, if Jalen Hurd could be that guy, then why can't Kyle Pitts? I don't know.
Pitts fits everything that Kyle Shanahan wants in a player. We'll just see if it turns out that that's what movie made. I mean,
it seems like you could put CJ Beathard at quarterback with Pitts and Kittle. I mean, you could do pretty well. I don't know. I understand you feel like you got to take a quarterback if you don't have that franchise guy, but quarterback isn't such a dire need for the 49ers. Jimmy's not terrible. Rosen isn't terrible.
I want to know how good Josh Rosen is, but
Me
I
too.
also just don't think Kyle Shanahan thinks that his quarterback's important in his offense.
You're just distributing the ball quickly on short throws. How difficult is that? Kyle could do it.
Yeah, and I don't think that he thinks he needs that level of draft pick or draft capital to make his offense work. So I think that would say a lot more about the quarterback than him or his offense. And it's just not a move that I think that he would make based on his track record of who he's picked and why he's picked them.
He's been on record saying that a guy like Julio Jones is worth trading up for. Has he ever said that any quarterback is worth trading up for? No. Hey, I think it would be so cool if somehow he just did that and everyone was like, oh my God, what is Kyle thinking? Well, he just took the best player in the draft.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I just want to add, as far as like wide receivers, I heard you and Botan talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
Guys to look out for. I would say to double dip back into all the schools we have lately. Tennessee has Josh Palmer.
Okay.
South Carolina has Shee Smith, which is funny because I remember early in the offseason, a lot of South Carolina fans had said, oh, we're definitely going to get J.C. Horn because we get a South Carolina player every offseason. I said at that time, it's going to be Shee Smith. Hopefully I'm right about that too. He's only 5'10", but he had just about 32 inch arms, ran a 6, very fast 3-cone. And those are the two things that Kyle Shanahan looks for.
True.
Playing Darby out of Arizona State. I won't be surprised if Kyle Shanahan sticks to his track record of drafting from those 3 schools also.
Hey, that works. Hey, before I let you go, where are you right now?
Sacramento.
It's really nice. It's nice. Yeah. And also, did I change your mind on Kellen Mond, or are you still comparing him to Josh Dobbs?
You changed my mind. Because he does throw around linebackers and in front of safeties over linebackers. I think that's a skill that not a lot of other guys have shown on tape, at least. I still think that Kyle Trask is a better quarterback, but he's a very bad thrower of the football. If you can separate those two things,
it's not pretty. It's not pretty, but it goes where he wants it to go. It's just doesn't spin that tightly. Doesn't have a lot of velocity on it, but it works. It works. Kellen Mond, I think, has kind of like Lance. He's got potential. Guys have so much athleticism and arm strength, and they seem like good decision makers too. I like them.
And Kyle Pitts will make him better. So I'm all for it.
Exactly. Really, he's just there for Josh Rosen. I'm here for the Rosen era. Great to see you, man.
Can't wait.
All right, man. Take care. Yeah. Real quick, Daniel says, I'm 100% down with Lance at 3. Means Jimmy will be staying another 1 to 2 years minimum. However, rather than us taking Pitts and build, you would rather that. Man, reading. I've realized doing the Cohn phone that I can't read. It's really hard. English major, UCLA, but reading, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that. All right. Jose, I'm going to get to you, but Aaron, you're new to the show. What's up, dude? How you doing?
Oh, hey, what's up? Actually, this is, I think, my second time calling in.
Second time. Of course, I recognize that face.
Yeah, I'm the guy in Bengals territory. Anyways, yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, I just wanted to say, I remember the other night that one kid mentioned something about Micah Parsons. And
yes.
I think you asked for him to compare him to someone, he couldn't. Well, I'm not only a Niners fan, I'm also a Penn State fan, even though I haven't really followed them a whole lot. And I got to say, from what I've seen of Parsons, he kind of reminds me of Navarro Bowman if he was an outside linebacker.
Well, Bowman did go to Penn State, and he was an outside linebacker at Penn State. That's a good call.
Yeah. He's
interesting.
I just see a lot of that in him, and I'd love to see the Niners take him. But honestly, another funny thing with the show I wanted to mention real quick was you guys have changed my opinion on like all three of the quarterbacks not named Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence. Like I went from hating Mac Jones to like
yeah.
I went from hating him to being like, you know what? It won't be the end of the world if we take him. And I've really gotten into Trey Lance, honestly. I would not be upset with Trey Lance the more and more you guys have talked about him. And honestly, I think that's who they're going to take at this point, just from what I've been seeing. But
it's easy to pick at Trey Lance's game and this legitimate criticism of him, but it seems like all of his strengths are God-given. The athleticism, the arm strength, the decision-making, none of that is coachable. So accuracy, he lacks experience. Maybe you can do something. You can work with him. The question is does he fit the Niners timeline? How long will it take?
Honestly, I would be okay with if we drafted him. We gave Jimmy one more year. I was trying to think of a funny scenario, like unrealistic scenario, but what if drafting Trey Lance just awakens this fire in Jimmy, and like Jimmy has this all-star 30-plus touchdown season? What do we do then at the end of the year?
That's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have.
It's a really good problem to have. Like he goes off like Alex Smith went off the year they drafted Patrick Mahomes. He had a really, really good year, people forget.
Yeah, worst case scenario is Trey Lance is still better than him, and you trade Jimmy Garoppolo for an actual first-round pick, and now you recoup some of the capital you gave up to get Lance. Yeah.
So I'm for us drafting Trey Lance. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here real quick and give my comparison of Micah Parsons and mention how you guys, strangely enough, changed my opinion, even if you guys are talking negatively on like every quarterback in the draft.
We've been going around in circles on these quarterbacks for a month. I'm glad that the draft is coming up because I'm ready to stop talking about hypotheticals.
Oh, me too. And I'm fine.
Hey, go have a great day in Bengal territory, man.
I'll try to. It's kind of depressing. Bye.
All right, man. Later. I'll try to. It's kind of depressing. That was funny. Yo, what's up?
What's going on, Grant? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So back to the last caller. He was talking about the Micah Parsons dude out of Penn State. I look at him and see more of a Dante Hightower from New England.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't know he actually played defensive end in high school. Converted to linebacker. So I think when it comes to his overall versatility, I think Dante Hightower would be a good comp for him. Back to the quarterbacks, though. I know, like you said, it's nauseating, but it has to be done until the draft happens.
Got to be done.
Yeah. So for Trey Lance, I had an interesting theory for why I think Kyle would take Trey Lance.
Okay.
Because of the fact he's so new to the quarterback position, unlike Justin Fields, I think he can really mold him into the quarterback he really wants him to be.
Totally agree.
He can make him into a Kirk Cousins if he wants to, or like a more athletic Kirk.
Clay. He's totally Clay, because the thing about you talk about accuracy, mechanics. It's hard to change your mechanics if you've been throwing a certain way since you're 5 years old. Justin Fields is the kind of guy who's been playing football his whole life, baseball his whole life. He's been going to these camps. He's been working on his mechanics. He may be ingrained the way Kaepernick was. That's another baseball player.
Yep.
Lance was a basketball player. He's totally new to all of this. It seems like he's not necessarily ingrained in anything.
Nope.
And you can find out, that's why it's important to have these private workouts with him now. He looks like at 21. He's 20. You haven't seen him since 19.
And another report I heard, too, was that there's a ex-quarterback, I forgot his name, that Kyle worked with.
John Beck?
John Beck. He was the one that's working out with Trey Lance the last 2 weeks to get a feel for him. I think that's another interesting thing because Kyle trusts John Beck. And that's the only dude that I think John Beck has worked with, the only quarterback that he's worked with out of these top 4 or 5 quarterbacks. Yeah. So I think that's another interesting to it.
So if John Beck gives him a glowing report, that's going to carry a lot of weight with Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. And then, like you said earlier, too, about him being able to make the calls, the line of scrimmage, and, do the protections and all that, that's obviously added to it as well. But I just think if knowing he could turn him into the quarterback he wants him to be, I just think that's where it's going to really come into play. And my comfort for Trey Lance, if it tends to work out the right way, or even could be better than this, I think he could be like a Dak Prescott. When I watch him, he kind of runs like a big running quarterback like Dak is, because Dak is a big dude. I think he's a little bit taller than Dak, if I'm not mistaken, but the overall their stocky build and whatnot, and their throwing motion, I think, is very similar.
Yeah.
Overall, though, I think he can just really do, and also to Justin Fields, like you said, that dudes that have played quarterback since they were like, 10, 11, 12, they're already stuck in their thought process and how they move and their
how they play,
their reads and whatnot.
Their decision making, their mechanics. Yes, they're ingrained.
And Trey Lance is kind of just learning on the fly. And with a guy like Kyle Shanahan, with the way everyone looks at him around the league, I think he can really say, hey, you know what? He's raw, but he's going to be my guy for the next 10 to 12 years. And no one's taught him anything before. So he's going to learn everything that I know in my system.
Yeah. And he's going to get a year on the bench. And he's so gifted and smart that if he is a better decision maker, there's a lot of easy throws in the Niners offense. I mean, you don't have to be super accurate to throw the slant or the swing route. You know what I mean? So I can see Kyle Shanahan selling himself on him.
And then the thing with Carson Wentz, because since they both went to North Dakota State, I also agree with what you said earlier about that analysis as well, about how Carson Wentz is a guy that takes a lot more chances and, is a lot more risky with his throwing. He was more like a Brett Favre wannabe of college, where Trey Lance is, kind of like Dak Prescott in a sense, because Dak Prescott is a guy
precise
with the ball.
Yes.
He doesn't make crazy decisions. He's
a good decision maker. Yeah, that's a good comp. That is a really good comp.
Or maybe just a better version of Alex Smith, since he retired today too. So shout out to Alex Smith.
Absolutely.
How did you feel about the whole Kaepernick Alex Smith situation when that was happening?
I thought they made the right call going with Kaepernick. In retrospect, I think I was probably wrong. I think Alex Smith was playing so well in 2012. He might have won that Super Bowl. What's that?
I think a lot of us were wrong about that, because everyone was on the Kaepernick train, and Alex Smith, in retrospect, was having the best QBR, I think, that season as well, of all the quarterbacks, even better than Aaron Rodgers. And it's unfortunate that he never really got the opportunity here in San Fran, because of the 5 different coordinators in his first 5 seasons. And getting resurrected by Harbaugh and whatnot. One more thing too. How did you feel about the whole Harbaugh situation when that went down with Jed York and whatnot?
I was on Harbaugh's side. Jed York messed that up. That was a relationship that he needed to keep going, and that was on him. That was totally on him. I think he felt like he wanted his team back, and Harbaugh had taken it over.
Oh, so you think it was a situation where the guys were just on Harbaugh's side and Jed was kind of like trying to put his foot down in a way?
I just felt like Harbaugh cut him out. Like, you're not involved. This is my team, and Jed wants to be involved. And Trent Baalke probably was talking in his ear like, this guy is not as, it's not so good. That kind of stuff.
I never understood why we kept Trent Baalke. He literally made no draft picks that were good.
Because Trent Baalke went out of his way to be friends with Jed York, and Harbaugh didn't.
Makes sense, because all those picks that were there before, because Trent Baalke wasn't the GM until 2011, correct? Harbaugh's first year.
Yes.
All those picks were
2010. 2010 is his first year.
Okay, yeah. But like all the good players we had at that time though were of the last general manager. I forgot his name, but he got
McLuhan.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so like those were all his picks. So I don't know why you give
it's true.
Baalke.
Jed York was a young man, and Trent Baalke, in my opinion, took advantage of him a little bit.
All I know is if Harbaugh was still our coach, we would have already won a Super Bowl by now, in my opinion.
Possible. All right, man. I got to take more calls, dude, but good call. Glad you're at home today, man.
Yeah.
Have a good one, man. Later.
Yeah.
All right. Dude. All right, hold on. What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up?
What's popping?
So, I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
What are the top, positions in need you would go for in the draft?
I think offensive tackle is a huge need. I don't trust Mike McGlinchey. I think wide receiver is a big need because you can't trust Debo. Quarterback's a big need.
Mm-hmm.
Running back's a big need. Cornerback's a big need. They got a lot. What do you think?
So, what is Kyle Shanahan is known for taking a wide receiver even when we don't need him.
True. That's right.
He gets like trigger happy with like I see a receiver.
Oh yeah.
Board. He's still on the board.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I was looking at our team and I don't see there's so many different types. There you got Debo who's physical. You got Ayuk who's more on the how do I put this more like
a little more finesse. A little bit more finesse.
More finesse, more the deep threat,
yes.
more route runner
yes.
Area.
That's fair.
So, receivers, we do not need one in the first round. And I think we definitely don't need one in the second round because we need an offensive lineman.
Mm.
So I was wondering mostly what do we need when we're looking for a receiver? What are we looking for exactly? Are we looking for a speed demon,
a
physical beast, or a guy who's got insane hands?
See, to me, what they're looking for is the last one because I think they're trying to replace Kendrick Bourne. Remember, they have a team that they like, a formula, a structure. Mm-hmm. They don't want to change it. He was part of it. Mm-hmm. And he was the guy who caught the first downs, the touchdowns, the red zone, the third down guy. He's the possession receiver, more so than Ayuk and Debo. So I think the replacement will be that kind of guy. And you say it probably won't happen in the second round. I wouldn't be sure about that. Kendrick Bourne was an undrafted receiver. True, but he was a restricted free agent last year. They gave him a second round tender. So that's how much they valued him then. It's possible they value his replacement at the same level.
True that. I personally, I don't know about him because as I said,
I'm with you on that. It seems like a little high to take a wide receiver. I'm just saying I think Kyle would do it.
Yeah, he's just trigger happy with that. And
no doubt.
O-line more. So I looked up 2 receivers for each type in the 3rd to 5th round range. Mm-hmm. So for the hands, I looked at Sage Surratt.
Okay.
From Wake Forest. He did opt out last season. He's perfect for the role because he's not quick, but he's got insane hands. He's one of the best receivers in this draft with hands.
Okay.
And then another one was what his name was Adam came on and talked about. Shi Smith, he does have speed, but he can catch a lot. Like that in college, he wasn't used for speed. He was more used as a red zone threat. Like, yes, he would rack up yards, but you would see the touchdown totals were like crazy for the amount of yards he got.
Got it. Okay, so Sage Surratt and Shi Smith. I think also you should probably go back and look at some of these hands guys in round 2. Just to be careful. I think we're looking Rashad Bateman, Terrace Marshall, those 2.
Yeah,
those 2.
Amon St. Brown, Demetric Felton. He's like Sage Surratt, a little slow, but he can also catch the ball. Yep. So just guys like that can have really good hands and that I think Kyle would like to go grab.
Look, I got to take the next call, but between now and the next time I talk to you, look up some Kendrick Bourne type receivers that you think the Niners could take in each round. And let me know next time who you think is going to be, all right?
Got you.
All right, man. Talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time. See ya.
All right. Gave him some homework. That's right. Ominous24 says Trey Lance has that killer look of confidence. When I see Zach Wilson, I see Jimmy Clausen. Oh, my God, this month is taking forever. Yeah, he's kind of got that Jimmy Clausen, Ryan Leaf vibe. I mean, if Zach Wilson kind of freaks out under the scrutiny and pressure of playing in the NFL, would anyone be surprised? I mean, who is that guy? David says, would you rather have Jimmy for a couple more years on this current contract with Pitts or Sewell or a rookie quarterback and some proven vets with freed up money? How about Josh Rosen? How about that? Can I opt for option C? Josh Rosen, Kellen Mond? Does it have to be a first-round quarterback? That's all I'm saying. All right. What's up?
Hey, how are you? First-time caller.
Great to see you, man. I'm all right. How are you? Where are you calling from?
Very good. I'm calling all the way from Norway.
Oh, wow. That's cool. What time is it in Norway?
Yeah. It's actually 10:34.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, thanks for staying up late. What's on your mind?
Yeah. So I actually want to say a few things about the quarterback situation.
Please do.
I echo your sentiment about Laz. I think he's clay, and Kyle can mold him to whatever he wants.
Okay.
Well, when I look at Fields, who I also like, I just see some arm arrogance. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes he's like, I can fit it in there. And the same thing with Zach Wilson.
Yes.
So I just feel like he wants that clay that he can mold to whatever he wants. So if that becomes like a better version of Alex Smith or Dak Prescott, I think that's the ceiling that I can see for Trey Lance. I think he has all the tools. I just feel like the things, like you said, the things that he doesn't excel in are things that are teachable. Especially because he started playing quarterback so late, like in the second division. So I think he can be molded. So basically, that's what I think about Trey Lance.
I think people don't have a good sense of what's coachable and what's not. Accuracy, we've seen quarterbacks improve that. How many people that you grew up with that were terrible decision makers at 22 became really responsible, smart decision makers at 26? I don't know. I don't think it happens. It's like, how many of your friends that were just really dumb at 22 became brilliant at 26? It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry. If you're smart, you're smart. If you're not, you're not. I'm sorry. It's a God-given trait.
Yeah. And I also think if you look at a quarterback like Mahomes, who took a lot of risks in college, if you watch the Kansas City offense, there's a lot of throw it 5 yards to what's his name, the tight end.
Kelsey.
So they manage the risk a lot. If you watch that offense, if you watch his ADOT, which is like average depth of target, it's actually not high when you look at his arm strength. It's just people look at the highlights and the deep throws to Tyreek Hill, but those aren't a lot of the offense. Those are a small part. A lot of it is like shorter routes because they know him and they know like if you let the reins off him, he's gonna like just throw it everywhere because he also is arrogant, just like Fields.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
hey, you are by far the most knowledgeable football fan in Norway. It gotta be. I mean, you're killing it right now. Keep going.
Not that there's not that many here. It's only
like imagine an American trying to actually talk about like Norwegian football. It can never happen, but you're killing it right now.
You mean cross country skiing? Cross country skiing.
That's the one. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
You know, I don't know if you watch Winter Olympics, but we're always number one. Winter Olympics.
Nah, I'm not a big Winter Olympics guy, but it's good to have.
Ahead of the year.
It's good to be number one. Nice. All right, man.
Yeah, and I also wanted to speak about one more.
Please do. Go for it. What's on your mind?
It was regarding the second round because I heard you. You said they should maybe target the receiver there, and I just don't think the value. Or if you look at the team's needs, which is to me O-line and cornerback, I feel like you could get those two there, and they could be a starter day one. So I feel like that's where we should focus. That was my life.
I agree. I don't disagree with you. It's Kyle Shanahan, man.
Yeah, receiver is more sexy, and we know him. He
was a receiver. Yeah. He loves it.
Yeah,
it's right. It's the sexy position, and he feels like he's good at drafting it. So I'm just saying.
I get that.
Yeah.
Hey, I look forward to seeing your draft coverage. It was going to be a wild night, no matter who it is.
Thank you, man. You just did Norway very proud. Exceptional call, man. Great to meet you. Take care. Wow. But you didn't know they could do that. They could talk about football like that in Norway. Man, it's a global sport, guys. Alexander says, hey, Grant, I'm a fan from Ireland and have been 49ers International. Fan from Ireland and have been watching the NFL for a year and a half. Love the Niners now. Please, may it be Fields. We be up at 1 a.m. Hey, I wish I could help you on that one, but I don't make the calls. Big Bad Brad says, if the Niners traded from 3 to 4 or even 5, would you feel differently about drafting Jones over Fields or Lance? No. They should not be drafting Jones over Fields or Lance. Come on, man. That guy's built like CJ Beathard. What are we really expecting here? Last Second Sports says, trade 43 and Jimmy for 15 and get JC Horn. Tell the fellas I'm a Trey Lance jersey number away from 1K. Show love, fellas. Yeah, everyone subscribe to Last Second Sports. Dude is 5 subscribers away from 1,000, man. Change his life. Yeah, I don't know if the Patriots are willing to trade that 15 for Jimmy and number 2, but if they are, they should definitely make that trade. I mean, like now. Okay. You already know what time it is. Oh, did you get the haircut?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, you looking real fresh and professional. What's up, man? How you doing? Looking good. What up?
So today I'm tired of talking about the draft. Okay, all these quarterbacks.
Me too.
I'm tired of talking about the draft.
Me too.
I'm talking now. There's so many remaining. There's a bunch of remaining free agents left on the market.
So
now I looked at all the remaining free agents, and I want to say which one we should sign, which one we shouldn't sign. Then I should sign which one we shouldn't sign.
Okay.
I have from QBs all the way to like safeties. So
all
QB, the only one I think of is Nick Mullins. Should we sign Nick Mullins or not?
I would love to. I mean, it's not like he's expensive. He knows the offense. Bring him back. I'm a big Nick Mullins fan, but you know how I am.
The thing is, I think we already have enough quarterbacks, so I really don't think we need Nick Mullins.
That's fair.
We have too many quarterbacks.
That's fair.
Now let's move on to running backs. I have Le'Veon Bell. Should we sign Le'Veon Bell or not?
Hell no.
I think
why? Tell me why.
The Kyle Shanahan already wanted Le'Veon Bell before he went to the Jets. Number one.
That's true.
And number two is like we don't know how Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. is gonna stay healthy the entire season. And he wanted Le'Veon Bell, so why wouldn't you sign Le'Veon Bell if he's a free agent? Nobody's signing him, so you could legit sign him to like a $2.5 million contract for 1 year, and we have Le'Veon Bell if Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson get injured.
You make a good case. I mean, I hadn't thought of it that way. You make a very good case. I was more inclined to draft a running back, but
drafting
I see what you're saying.
Is a waste of a pick.
That's a good point. You make another good point. Okay, Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, put him in a committee with Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson Jr. Be a hell of a committee.
And the next running back I have on the list is Gurley.
No.
I don't think.
No. I think he's done, man. He used to be great, but no, that knee's all messed up. No, not Gurley.
And then Adrian Peterson.
No, I like Bell more. Of the three that you mentioned, I like Bell because he's the best receiver, and the Niners really are looking for a receiver. I mean, Wilson's a good receiver, Mostert's a good receiver, but not on the Le'Veon Bell level. Bell, of those three, him. Only other guy you could argue is like Frank Gore, but Frank Gore is 77 years old. I mean, my dad's younger than Frank Gore, so I would say probably Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, and then let's move on to wide receivers. Antonio Brown.
No. The only quarterback in the league that I think Antonio Brown respects and would be professional with is Tom Brady. He wouldn't even be professional around Ben Roethlisberger, who's a future first ballot Hall of Famer. So it's not like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be like, hey, Antonio, knock it off. It's not going to happen.
I don't think we should sign Antonio Brown either because I don't know his chemistry with the players in the locker room. He has too much drama off the field also. So I don't think Antonio Brown is a right choice for the Niners. We shouldn't sign him. Moving on to Alshon Jeffery.
He's a good player. Depending on the price. He's a lot like Kendrick Bourne. Not really. He's more of an outside guy. Can he play in the slot? I don't know. Depends on the price. Intriguing.
I think we should sign Alshon Jeffery because nobody's really signing him or anything. He's still a free agent, so I think we could sign him for vet minimum. Yeah, and he's proven. He's produced. Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else? Offensive lineman. Who? We have Alejandro Villanueva. He's probably going to be expensive, although he's still out there. I think that's going to be a guy who signs after the draft because there's going to be teams that want some starters that miss out on rookies that sign him. There's also Eric Fisher, who tore his Achilles and could be back. I think Eric Fisher would be an interesting signing because he'll be cheap. You can get him for nothing. He's the first pick in the draft. I don't think we should sign Alejandro Villanueva, but I think we should sign Eric Fisher or Mitchell Schwartz, also a Kansas City guy, because both of those guys are still there. You could get them for cheap. Because honestly, I think whenever they see a contract, I think they would take it because nobody's really offering them anything. Well, we'll see if Mike McGlinchey's even on the team after the draft. They could trade him on draft night. Who knows? That's what they did with Trent Brown a couple of years ago. And the last offensive lineman I have is Jason Peters. Old. Nah, no thanks. I'll pass. Yeah. Now, hey, look. What? Go ahead. 2D linemen that I have on my list is Geno Atkins and Jarrell Casey. A little old. I think the Niners do really well with these young, unheralded defensive linemen. That's what Chris Kosarick does well with. I don't think they need any more depth. I like their D linemen. They got Kinlaw, Street, Givens. I like their D linemen. I have next is edge. Okay. Edge rushers. I'm just gonna go quick rapid fire because I know you guys take other calls. Sure. Edge, I have Justin Houston, Melvin Ingram, Ryan Kerrigan, and Everson Griffin. Which one should we sign? One of them, or should we not sign? Well, they already signed Samson Ebukam. There probably isn't a role for any of those guys. I'd be most interested in Everson Griffin, but
Let's see what Samson Ebukam can do. He's 26. He's got upside.
Now, linebackers, Quan Alexander, KJ Wright, Lee.
KJ Wright's cool. Is he a free agent?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
I like KJ Wright.
Same.
Yeah.
I think we should like KJ Wright. Cornerbacks, Richard Sherman's not deciding until the draft. We have Rashad Breeland and Casey Hayward.
Rashad Breeland was good against the Niners in the Super Bowl. I like him.
Same. And then the last one I have is safeties. The only one I could really find is Malik Hooker. But I honestly think we should, though.
He was the same draft as Solomon Thomas. He's had a lot of injuries. You could give him a chance. He could be cheap.
I would draft Malik Hooker only because Jaskowski Tart, I don't know. He usually only plays maybe 5 to 8 games. Otherwise he's the season. So if you sign Malik Hooker, you have another guy to back up who had to back up Jaskowski Tart, who's actually a really good player when he's on the field. So.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'm glad we went through every position. That was extensive and exhaustive. Let me ask you real quick. Did your parents see that I made a little comment about your hair and then immediately take you out for a haircut?
No, because actually, I showed my parents, but right after you told me that my brother was gonna get a haircut, so did you get a haircut also? I'm like, okay,
all right. Well, there you go.
A haircut.
It's a good one, man. You look great. Love the tie. You're ready to turn pro, man. You're gonna be the first pick out of high school. Good to see you, man. I'll see you next time.
See you next time.
All right, man. Real quick, I'm going to answer some of these questions. Daniel says, tinfoil hat thought Sims rankings were to drop stock on Lance and Fields when the Niners were picking at 12. Think about it. Possible. All I got to say is Sims was scathing on Justin Fields, specifically scathing. There's no way he did that just to help Kyle Shanahan. He had nothing specifically bad to say about Trey Lance other than inexperienced. So I can buy it with Lance. He didn't really have anything specifically bad to say about Lance. Tinfoil hat. Oh, man, you did it a bunch of times. Thank you. Dang. Appreciate it. Hold on. Gold-blooded says, did you see Jordan Matthews is running routes for Lance? Oh, and the John Beck factor and lots of speculation. That's John's guy. I put money on Lance. Hey, man. It seems like the Niners are trying to get as much information as possible on Lance at the end of the process. I would want to as well because the tape just doesn't tell you much. Dennis Cruz says, several weeks back it was Mac Jones. Last week Fields. Now it's Lance. Shake my head. Will the big trade go down again to get back in the first round? Maybe. If they pass on a quarterback at 3, then yes. Carl says, Amin equals the clip-on king. Yeah, that was definitely clip-on. That's all right, though. I was rocking clip-ons when I wasn't even rocking no ties when I was that age. All right, let's get back to the calls. John. You're muted. Unmute.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
How you doing? Good to see you. Good. How are you?
Mexico, second-time caller.
I remember you. Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, we talked briefly, so I didn't really expect it. But okay.
I got a good memory. I can never forget that face. Either.
Oh,
You kidding?
I know. I seen you on Trivia Day. You do have a great memory.
Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You really do.
All right,
really
man. So what are we talking about today?
Well, I was on my lunch break, so I saw a Cohn phone on Monday, and on my lunch break, I feel
lucky.
Really. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure, Bish wasn't available or something. Maybe you covered it before.
Yeah, he's got a little homework.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense with college and all. All right. So, well, that one time we talked, I told you about a possibility of trading back down,
right?
Getting some of those assets back, and thinking, okay, we're going to host the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
So in these 3 or so weeks, well, that scenario is just not available anymore.
Ever since they traded for Darnold, right?
Yeah, that pretty much changed everything. At least that theory down. So that was like the way we can see Kyle justifying drafting Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
That much assets to draft. And so with that in mind, I changed my mind completely. That's just not going to happen. They're not trading down. They're picking someone with that overall pick.
Who's it going to be?
It's going to be a QB.
Yeah.
And just like with everyone, I think it can be all of the 3, 4 we've been talking about this last month, which, by the way, finally, we are on T-10 of the countdown. Finally. I mean, this is a soap opera. And I'm Mexican, man. I know about soap operas. So, okay, I wrote a few notes. So
okay. Hit me with them notes.
Okay. First is about Kyle, and I can kind of relate on his perspective as a former wide receiver. I was one of those guys. I played quarterback and I played wide receiver.
There you go.
The thing is, I was the backup quarterback because, well, my coach liked the other quarterback better. So he said, you know what? I still want you on the field. So he made me a wide receiver.
Okay.
So I have also coached. I have been a referee.
Oh, wow.
I also play. I seen the game in all the aspects. You can really see it, except for as a journalist, because I am not.
Okay.
And believe me when I tell you this, from every perspective, is incredibly different. It really is.
Of course.
So I'm not saying he's right to have that approach, but I can see in his perspective where he's coming from with all these. I want receivers. The more, the better.
Yep. Because right, there's two schools of thought. There's the quarterback makes receivers better. How? Does he make them run faster? Does he make them more explosive? Does he make their hand-eye coordination better? Or great receivers make a quarterback better? I can understand that. I can see how that works.
That the last one is more likely.
Yes.
They both can coexist, but
yes.
it's way more likely that a wide receiver makes your quarterback better. I mean, your quarterback has to, learn to play playbook, read line of scrimmage, make those calls, make your reads, do your progressions, and throw to the guy that is the most open. You can identify in those 2, 3, 4 seconds. You got
yes.
Make all those decisions. It's
yes.
really hard.
It is very hard.
Really, really hard.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's why that is. We're gonna keep seeing receivers on round 2 or 3.
I agree with you on that one. I agree with that.
So back to the notes. There are not that many.
Okay.
Let me see.
One more, because I got to take some more calls. I'm at 151 over here.
Okay, I'll hurry up.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're taking a quarterback for sure, and this is a desperate move. This was plan C, at least, if not D.
Yeah.
So, Jesus, all right. Hopefully they get this right.
Yeah.
And JC convinced me, and I'm leaning way more towards that they're taking Trey Lance. And not just because all of the insight he got from the quarterback coaches, just that is pretty much insurance for Kyle Shanahan's job. Not necessarily for John Lynch, but for Kyle, that's 3 years not getting fired. Pretty much.
I see. Yeah, it's true. I see what you mean. It extends the timeline, especially if Jed York signs off on it. John, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I'm glad I got to catch you on your lunch break today, man. Hopefully I get to see you again soon.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll try.
All right.
I'll try to wake up on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay, John, take care.
All the best.
All right. Cedric says, big fan, but tell Vish to stop saying if Mac is Kyle's guy, then it's okay. Never okay to play like that. I will tell him personally, Cedric. I will tell him personally. Good call. All right. Eduardo.
Hey, Grant. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Good, man. How are you?
Good, thanks. Also from Mexico. Hey, I know this is draft season and everything is about Jimmy G and the QBs that we could pick. But there is one topic that I think should be a really big concern for all Niners fans.
Tell me.
And I think it's related to this issue, the injury issue.
Oh yeah,
of the players. Because I was curious and I was checking this, and do you know that since Kyle is the head coach, the Niners have been like top 6 team on the NFL in number of players on that landed on IR.
I believe it. That sounds correct. Yeah.
So 2017 we were the 6th team.
Wow.
18 we were number 1. 19 we were number 4. when we went to the Super Bowl.
And
last year we went number 1, but by far. I mean, by far, it was even a record, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if this is not a coincidence, and I don't think it's bad luck. I think it's really an issue, and I think it's because of this system of Kyle. Maybe, I don't know, because of his offense that emphasize this yard after catch philosophy and the heavy run offense,
contact,
a lot of blocking. Yeah, I don't know if it has to be something related to that, but I think it's a real concern because we are taking for granted that it was just bad luck, a bad year, and next year we will have everyone back. But it could happen the same again, right? Because it has been for the last 4 years.
Agree. It seems, they say like the best ability is availability. Like the ability to play football and not get hurt consistently is a skill.
Yeah.
And that's what people say that all the time, and the Niners don't take it seriously. They consistently sign and draft players that have extensive injury histories, surgery histories. And it seems to me that they don't care. I asked them at their post, at the end of season press conference, what are you going to do to make sure this doesn't happen again? And John Lynch said, we're going to talk about it and investigate. Well, all I see is they had brought back all the same players. Jaquaski Tartt's back. Yeah. All these guys are back. So it almost feels like they're okay with, having an injury-prone team, because one of two things will happen. One, the team will stay healthy and they'll win and they'll look smart, or the team will get hurt and they'll have an excuse and all the Bay Area sports writers will let them off the hook. Hey, we got hurt for the 5th year in a row. Well, maybe it's your fault.
Yeah. But my thing is that I don't think it's a player's fault. I don't think it's player that they are injury prone. I think it's more about Kyle's system, Kyle's offense, that is propense to get players injured. That's my theory, because it's everyone across the team, right? Last year it was everyone that got injured. And again, if this happens next year, I think I can prove my theory that it's related to Kyle's offense and Kyle's system.
I'm sure it's a lot of factors. It just feels like the Niners haven't addressed any of them, and their attitude is bring back the same team and hope for the best. And I don't see the science behind that, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, a good call. We've been talking about quarterbacks nonstop for a month. I appreciate you taking us to actually the most important issue on the team right now. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right. Take care. All right. From Eduardo to Fernando. Hello, Fernando.
Hey, what's up, Grant?
What's popping, man?
None much, man. Just here on lunch, just like John.
Hey, okay.
Couple of Mexican guys. I'm a Mexican guy myself here. But I'm in the 559 area, though.
Oh, that's what's up. Where are you at? Fresno?
Fresno. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I went to college with a kid from Chowchilla, if you know about the Chouch.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Yeah. I went to a small high school in Tranquility High School, so
okay.
All those small communities like Fireball, Mendota.
Fireball, where Josh Allen's from.
Yep. Oh, man. They had a big parade for him in the playoffs, but sadly they lost.
When I was in college, I was in a frat with a kid who was on the same high school basketball team as Robin Lopez, Brooke Lopez, and Quincy Pondexter. Do you remember those kids?
San Joaquin Memorial?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, anyway. San Joaquin Memorial. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, let's talk.
Man. Thanks for taking the call. I appreciate that. Huge fan. I know you get a lot of criticism for all the negative stuff you say. And stuff,
I bring it on myself. I only have myself to blame.
These people got to hear the truth, man. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
Nah.
So it's just the truth, right? We got both sides of the tortilla, right? So my question is, well, not my question, but my statement is, I want Zach Wilson, man, and I have a feeling that he's gonna drop. I think they're going for Fields, but you sold me with Pitts, so that's kind of like my number 2. If Pitts is there, Zach Wilson is gone. Why not? Go for it.
Why not?
Get Trask.
Yep.
Trask can be our quarterback, and then who knows Pitts better than Trask.
Yep. No, but come back to your original point. I've been selling Trey Lance all day. Why wouldn't the Jets want him? Really, their general manager drafted Carson Wentz. If he liked Carson Wentz enough to take him with the 2nd pick in 2016, I got to say Trey Lance is a better prospect than he was. So why are we certain that the Jets aren't taking Trey Lance? I think it's possible.
Well, development maybe. I mean,
maybe, but again,
Jets. I don't know if Jets
Robert
have the
Saleh
patience
has
for it.
time. If it's a new coaching staff, no one expects them to win. They got time. I think he could play right away for them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if you think Zach Wilson's going to drop, it's either going to be Fields or Lance going number 2. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Lance. I like Lance better than Fields.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it, but I just feel like Wilson's ready to start. And with whole Garoppolo getting hurt, I just feel like the first game, any little hit he takes, gets hurt. I just need someone who's ready.
Yep.
Next in line,
Yep.
who's go.
Yeah.
And my other thing is, again, from Fresno, so watching Josh Hokett, I was really hoping he could step up. And we didn't resign Kyle Juszczyk, but they signed him. But I was wondering, you've seen him. I mean, I've seen him here at Fresno State, and he was a baller, man. He ran, he caught, he did everything, all the above. I think he did have a little issues with blocking and stuff like that. But do you think he'll be ready? Maybe in a couple years, or what have you seen?
Perhaps. I want to see what he looks like in training camp, just what his body looks like. Last year, he looked like he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. But the Niners have a really good track record with their undrafted guys year 2. Like Ross Dwelly looked like a totally different person year 2. Kevin Givens looked like a totally different person year 2. I want to see what he looks like. The Niners are good at developing those guys. And I want to see him in a preseason game because, like you said, if he's going to play fullback, he's got to block. You can't see that in training camp. So we got to see him in preseason.
Cool, man.
He can get open, man. He's got promise.
Yeah.
So
hopefully he learns. Hopefully he learns from Juszczyk, man, and represent. I haven't seen a Niner, a Fresno State being a Niner represent in a while.
Well, hopefully he represents you guys well. Good call,
man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Have a good one.
You, man. Take care. You too.
For telling me.
You're welcome. What's up, man?
Bye. Oh,
You're what? Hey, what's up? Don't hang up on me yet, man. What's going on, baby?
Where's Vish? What happened?
He's doing homework. He texted me like first thing in the morning. He's like, I don't think I'm gonna finish today, man. I was like, that's cool, man. That's cool. He said we could have done it later in the afternoon, but my wife says I gotta be done at 5 o'clock every day because it's a workcation. She's working in the other room. We got pool time at 5 o'clock. We got pool time at 5 o'clock. So.
All right. Well, I won't keep you long then. What do you think's gonna happen if Justin Fields doesn't get picked? Because I feel like that's probably our GM's favorite. I think that's I think there's a difference of opinion. You don't think so? You don't think that
from the word is that the GM and the scouting department like Lance, not Fields. And I can see. The thing with Fields is if the Niners internally are moving on from Jimmy Garoppolo because of durability and decision making, well, Justin Fields broke his ribs and has decision making issues. I mean, I just don't understand how you go like he's just a better athlete version of Jimmy, honestly. That's Justin Fields. He's Jimmy with a stronger arm and faster legs. Is that what they want?
But that was 2017 Jimmy. And I can make the argument that was the best Jimmy that we ever had. Well, they're 5-0 with that Jimmy.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe. That's true. And John did trade for that guy. So maybe you're right. I just feel like the collective experience in the Niners organization of not being able to improve Jimmy Garoppolo's decision-making has to affect them in their choice now. It's like, look, we thought we could help Jimmy improve his decision. Maybe we couldn't. It took 4 years. Maybe we should take that into consideration in this time around.
I'll throw another thing at you. As a business, QB Collective, who runs that? Who owns that? Is it Shanahan?
Oh, yeah.
Is that his baby?
Oh, yeah. That's his baby.
So as a money-making business proposition, wouldn't it make sense to draft Fields?
Yes. Like, hey, we've been developing this guy since he was 17. Yeah.
Bring your 17-year-old all-stars. Guess what? They can churn a factory. They can pick and choose who they want. Right? Trade up their draft picks every 5 or 6 years. Kyle will get them when they're 17. Indirectly develop them, draft them. He only has to do that 2 or 3 times.
That's true. Right? And what better endorsement for your own quarterback factory than drafting the guy that because if you don't take Justin Fields, what are you saying to the world about your own quarterback factory? It doesn't work.
Correct. No. Why would
we had the best prospect?
Right.
He was here early and often. Couldn't work with him.
Nope. Why would any parent dole out the money to 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids that they want to take the next step why would they do that if they're not going to get drafted by the guy who's doing it? Right?
That's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah. It would show confidence in his own quarterback collective to take Justin Fields.
I mean, why? I mean, and then he could just say, well, I had that plan the minute I saw Justin when he was 17, 18 years old.
Oh, yeah. I've loved
Kyle
Justin
looks like a genius, right?
I've loved Justin Fields since before he could drive. Oh, yeah. He could say stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then who's everyone's going to be like, see, it was Field all along. Mac Jones was a smokescreen. Kyle comes across as a genius, right?
Kyle knows him. He's done his homework.
Right? That's going to be the narrative. If he drafts someone else, it'll be interesting to see that dynamic change. I also think that this is the year that we kind of flip the script and kind of go offensive in the draft versus defense.
I agree with that.
Because I think the offense has really high-priced players who are very injury-ridden. And the only way you're going to be one step ahead if you draft their replacements now.
I agree.
Right?
I absolutely agree with that. Yes.
Which is a change in philosophy because Kyle basically says my scheme can make an average person above average.
Yes.
And I think he's finding out that may not be the case in the NFL when, number 2 and number 3 aren't very good and number 1's out for 10, 12 weeks.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
Oh, and so the 49ers have the lamest draft party, apparently, now that the Rams are going to be in Malibu.
Where are the Niners going to be?
I told you. And Kyle's going to be in his office.
With his kids
Correct.
and
With
his dog?
Kids. I guarantee
something
you.
like that.
Oh,
well. Well, I guess, that maybe they shouldn't be celebrating prematurely,
Fair enough.
with their draft record. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
Well, thanks for calling in. I mean, you're probably right about Justin Fields, and that's a little depressing. So we'll see.
Hey, he did well with RG3 until I told you 4 or 5 years. 4 or 5 years.
True.
That's it.
You're right. Hey, man, I'll see you soon, man.
I'll see you later.
Take care. Andrew, are you there? What's up? You're muted, but if you press unmute, we can talk. What's up, man?
Yo, what up, Grant?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. Thanks so much for having me on. First time caller. Diehard Niner fan. I was born into it.
Okay. Where you from?
Love all the content you put up, and just thanks so much for keeping us entertained during this crazy time. I have a few questions here, but I just wanted to go ahead and jump right into it. Do you think, I don't think we are going to be drafting Mac Jones, but do you think?
Oh, lost him. What do you think he's going to ask me about Mac Jones? I wonder. Is he a good quarterback? Man, I lost you. Andrew, call back in. Hold on. Try again. We had a big time 30-second lag. Try again. Nope, he's gone. All right. We tried. Big Ben Meyerson. Not little Ben. We're talking Big Ben. What's up, Big Ben?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Just chilling.
That's
but
good.
hey, I'm excited for the draft. So
me too.
Wait, and we're almost there, and we're almost done with all this stupid crap we've had to deal with for
no more speculation. Looking forward to it.
It's gonna be so nice, honestly.
Yeah.
Let me where do I want to start at? I want to start with Trey Lance.
Okay.
Because you and I discussed like he's going to be the betting favorite by this time tomorrow, I think. So I think the hype train is going to start building. I don't really see this scenario where it happens just because of the quarterback they have in place right now. Because like we've established with Trey Lance, he's not playing right away. We know that. And with Jimmy, I just don't understand how you can go into the season having the confidence that you're going to play Jimmy and he's actually going to play all of the games that he's supposed to play. And you're going to have to play Trey Lance at some point. So from that perspective, I don't really understand that.
Only thing I'm starting to wonder, how pro ready is Trey Lance? Say, well, Justin Fields is more pro ready. Really? Ohio State prepares quarterbacks for the NFL better than North Dakota State does. Is that true? I'm not sure that's true. North Dakota State prepared Carson Wentz pretty well. I mean, he was pretty good. Ohio State hasn't done that yet. Not to scout the helmet or anything, but you could argue that what Trey Lance was doing that year prepares him more for the NFL than anything Justin Fields did at Ohio State. So, I'm not certain that Trey Lance would be a total disaster on the field year one. Maybe he's got the athleticism to pull it off.
But I think the only thing I just struggle with that because, like we've talked about, he just hasn't played. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. The dude hasn't played football, and with all these guys that we have on 2-3 year deals, like that's the part where I really struggle with it because it's gonna get so expensive down the line to where if you draft Trey Lance and you're really trying to win with him, you're not gonna be able to cash in on, like, at least in my opinion, you're not going to be able to cash in on that rookie contract and be able to build this all-star team with this.
But again, is 600 throws at Ohio State better than 300 throws at North Dakota State? Neither one is a lot.
No.
So, I mean, it seems like no matter who you take at number 3, if it's a quarterback, you should probably, I don't know. I mean, if you play him right away, you expect the worst. And if you want to contend next season, you sit him for a season. Anyone you take.
And what I realistically think is going to happen is, like, I think they're going to take a quarterback there, and then I think Jimmy's going to get hurt at some point in the season. They're going to have to play. That's why I struggle with Trey Lance so much. I think it's inevitable almost with Jimmy. Like, I don't think it's a matter of if, it's just when it's going to happen. So I understand what you're saying because none of these guys are pro ready, and it's hard to, or you just don't know right now, and it's like freaking impossible to know. And this year the evaluation is so hard because these guys have so less reps, and it's just a crazier year than ever. So yeah, I guess I'm just struggling with that with Trey Lance because I can see the situations where all the other guys make sense. Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Wilson, right? I mean, they're all these scenarios that I play out in my head, and I'm like, okay, I can actually see that happening. With Trey Lance, I guess that's where I struggle.
Let me sell it to you this way. And I'm not advocating they take Trey Lance, but from this perspective, the 3 quarterbacks, I think you could argue Lance is the one with the best chance to become great because the athletic limitations that Mac Jones has, for him to become great, he'd have to be Drew Brees. Good luck with that. And then with Justin Fields, the perceived limitations he has as a decision maker, those are going to be tough to overcome and coach up. Those are intrinsic to what he is. Those are traits. Trey Lance and his lack of experience and accuracy, he can overcome those. So he won't necessarily, but I feel like he's the one with the weaknesses that are the most coachable. And if he's 20 years old, if he overcomes those, he could be great.
Yeah.
I don't think that Justin Fields or Mac Jones will be great.
Well, and I think that's the thing with Kyle this year. You have to look at it from that perspective is what can you take from these kids and what can you fix and get the most out of them from, Because that's what you're picking. You traded 3 first-round picks. You're not taking who's the best guy in 2021. Mm-hmm. Who's going to have the best career? Who has the best chance to be great? I think it's Trey Lance. Well, I still would take Kyle Pitts. And like I said, you got to focus on what Kyle can fix the easiest, or not even the easiest, what he can fix and mold to his offense to make it work. But I just want to end with something else besides quarterbacks. Let's talk about second-round picks a little bit. I liked what you were saying earlier in terms of Kyle's going to take a guy, or you talked about this because I'm not saying I would do this, but we think Kyle's going to take a wide receiver or running back early.
Mm-hmm.
The guys I've been looking at are the ACC running backs. There's 3 really good ones.
Yes,
there all are. At the top. But I really like some of the wide receivers because there might even be some that would drop, like if a Kadarius Toney or the kid from Purdue, or even I really like the UNC receiver De'Ami Brown.
Yes,
who's a speedster and is a freak athlete. And he's also kind of got that DK Metcalf thing where it's like he doesn't run that many routes, but like he's just doing what the offense is asking of him, and they want deep shots a lot. So he's really interesting. But so I guess. What do you think Kyle is going to do? Do you think he's actually going to – because I feel like they're going to need to take a corner at some point in this draft if they don't go and sign someone, right? So I'm trying to figure out –
No, I don't think so. They've shown – they didn't take a corner last year. And they don't show that they like necessarily plan ahead at that position. I mean, if they have a need, they'll handle it that year. They could sign veterans on a 1-year deal next year. I feel like they at least have – every position in the secondary accounted for next year. They don't have a number 3 receiver. They just don't.
Yeah.
Kendrick Bourne played a lot. Jalen Hurd could be that guy, but you can't count on him. And they don't seem to believe in Richie James. They gave Kendrick Bourne a 2nd-round tender last year as a restricted free agent, which tells you how much they value him. So to me, if they're looking for a replacement for Kendrick Bourne, it's in that area.
I think Travis Benjamin is interesting too, and he's worth thought because he is going to be there. He wasn't
but
there.
his skill set is the opposite of Kendrick.
Yeah, no, you're
they
right.
need that possession receiver.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know. It could be Rashad Bateman. It could be Terrace Marshall. Someone there in round 2.
Yeah, and I like those guys fits better, I think, for the offense. And like to what you're saying, you need that Kendrick Bourne role filled. But I do think there is something to Kyle is just going to take the gadget receiver, the guy who he can do all kinds of different stuff with, and that kind of thing. So I feel like, especially like Kadarius Toney would be his.
Love Toney.
Like, I don't think he's going to get there, but he would be Kyle's type of guy. Like.
No doubt. Yeah, he's my type of guy.
I will push back on one thing real quick before I get out of here. I feel like they do need to address the nickel corner, though. I think if there's one injury in that in that secondary, like they're screwed. That's the way I look at it, at least. Yeah. So I feel like they might need to address that in the draft. Even though, like you're saying, that receiver thing, it's a real issue. People who think we're good with Ayuk and Debo, we are not, especially with the injury history of those guys. So
I'm just saying, you need a backup nickel, and they need to address that. But they need 500 snaps from a wide receiver.
They do.
And to get that from a rookie, you can't wait too long. You can't take a rookie at pick 102 and be like, yeah, let's pencil him in for 500 snaps. No. Like, if you want instant production from a rookie, you should be taking that guy top 60.
45. Yeah.
45. Yeah. So, and they're right in that spot.
Right there,
so,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of expecting the Kendrick Bourne replacement pick, just like you had the Forrest Buckner replacement pick last year and the Emmanuel Sanders replacement pick. I don't know. That seems to be how they do business.
And I will say, really look into De'Ami Brown because I like him a lot, but I also know that Chris Sims ranked him very highly. So nice to keep.
Hell of a player, and I know Eric Crocker likes him too. Big Ben, great to see you.
Good talking to you, Grant.
All right, man, always a pleasure. Hey, Rizzo.
Hey, what's going on, Grant?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
Not so much. So first time calling from Connecticut.
Okay.
Still repping the Niners out here.
Nice.
So I have a hypothetical for you.
Sure.
So let's say everything was a smokescreen. We draft Kyle Pitts 3rd, which I'm not really opposed to it because we need help in that red zone.
Yes.
Who do you take in the 2nd round? Because I have 3 options we can go with. Quinn Miners to help on the right side there because Mikolici gets bullied every time.
Sure.
Terrace Marshall, who could we put in the slot and be another explosive weapon there? Or do we take Kellen Mond to back up Jimmy, have him learn under a year, and then just say, hey, you're going to be the guy moving forward with us?
I don't think they need to take Terrace Marshall if they draft Kyle Pitts. I think they kind of do similar things, and Pitts does them better. So if they take Pitts and Mond is available in round 2, I would be all for that pick. I think Kellen Mond is as athletic as any quarterback in this draft. He's not as big as Justin Fields or Trey Lance, but he runs a 4.5 and he has a cannon. I like him a lot. I think he's got upside.
I like him too, and because even when he was saying, I put up the numbers for the past 2 years. I played in the SEC. He's a good quarterback, and I would not be mad with us taking them and just skipping over Trey Lance or just Fields over this round 1 pick.
I mean, there's a lot to like with real quick with Mond. He's super athletic, strong arm, good decision maker.
Yeah.
What is he struggling? Accuracy. Okay, well,
you can teach that.
He improved. You can teach it. He improved every year, and if you give him some playmakers, that's exactly what Buffalo did with Josh Allen. You give him Stephon Diggs, all of a sudden he's completing a higher percent of his passes. Funny how that works. So yeah, it seems like he's got the things you can't coach.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a quick call. I know how everybody waits on here for a long time.
Is Rizzo your real name?
Yeah, last name.
Are you a big Jerky Boys fan?
Yeah.
Frank Rizzo.
Frank
Rizzo. I love that. All right, Jerky.
Yes,
see you, man. Take care. Yeah. Let me get Andrew real quick before. Oh, he left. Oh man, I was definitely going to get Andrew before he bounced, but he left. Sorry about that. Gio, you'll have to end this one today. What's up, Gio?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
So I want to talk about 43.
Okay, let's talk about 43.
So I like Asante Samuel.
Uh-huh.
And they said about Terrace Marshall at 43, but honestly, I think the Bengals could go out and get him at, I think they're like 35 or 38.
That's true. They could.
For LSU with Burrow, obviously. But I really like Asante Samuel's good man corner.
Yes.
Out of Florida State.
hell of a player. If the Niners are looking for a cornerback who can play right away, then they could get him. The only thing is they're spending $5 million on Emmanuel Mosley this year. And that's a lot of money for a guy you don't intend to start. So I don't know. It seems like the Niners might draft a corner next year, which might be the wrong thing to do. But that's just, I'm just trying to read tea leaves here.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't know. Geo 2008 means you were born in 2008. I feel old. Okay, keep going. I was born in 1988, so we're 20 years apart, but we're still speaking the same language. So what's up?
So I like Fields at 3.
Okay.
I know you like Lance.
Fields is cool. I mean, I question his decision making, but maybe I'm wrong. Hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, geez.
I like Fields more because of I feel like Lance is not ready yet, and I do not want to keep Jimmy at all. I just want to get him.
That's fair.
And
That's fair.
I doubt that Jimmy doesn't have another injury by week 4.
Oof. Dang. Yeah, you're probably right. All right, man. I got to take some more calls, Gio, but it's been a pleasure. All right, take care. Liam.
What's up, Grant?
How you doing, man?
Doing all right. It seems like you're on that Vera Tucker hype train now, aren't you?
I had no idea. Now that I know that he's a dragon like me. He's tough. He's smart. He's polished. Thank you for alerting me to his presence, man. What
and
a
also
player.
Holland too. You should watch him. Holland.
Yeah.
He would be great if he's in the 3rd round, but I doubt it. But Oakland too, and
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. So I really just came here to sort of shout out buddy Abe and I have been working on this document.
Okay.
And we scouted over 40 people. So I was wondering if you want that document.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah. And also I'm here to sort of it's because I scout all the quarterbacks.
Okay.
And I gotta say, I think next year's class is gonna be better than this class for just what the modern NFL is gonna be like. It's because if you like Zach Wilson, you're probably gonna like Spencer Rattler. I gotta be honest, that guy throws he is so inconsistent, but he has a Brett Favre. I'm gonna throw totally off balanced dimes, straight up. And then you have Sam Howell, who's Baker Mayfield 2.0 without the issues. But yeah.
Okay.
And also, I still don't know why, but no one's really talking about corners with the Niners still. It's back at 12, it was we need a corner really bad. And for me, it was Surtain instead of Verrett. But then now it's Horn for me. Straight up, Horn is just a guy you can just jam, just straight up jam DK or Hopkins or anyone. It's because honestly. And then a name that you should sort of know is Jacoby Stevens. He's from LSU. I think he was a 4-year starter. He's in that weird size range where he's a safety, but he's a linebacker, and he could. I'm not going to compare him to Fred Warner because no one can be a Fred Warner, but he can easily make that transition. So
the Niners have had a lot of success with those type of tweener players at linebacker.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then if you need any more Zach Wilson film, Jack Hammer and you guys can watch the San Diego State versus BYU game. Is because that game single-handedly sort of made me sort of hype or to sort of jump off the whole Zach Wilson is just sort of a god type thing. Be sure his 2020 film, he's a top 5 pick easy, without a doubt. But watch a San Diego State film, it's just from 2019. Be sure you can improve, but his mechanics and everything is still the same from the year before, and he threw 55 times. He only completely think of just above 50. He threw 2 picks. He fumbled. It was a really tough game.
Okay. Send me that. I want to watch that.
Yeah. So what's your email again? Here, I'll send a document.
It's grantcohn@gmail.com. One word.
Okay, I got you.
All right, man.
Appreciate it,
man. Of course, man. Good to see you. Take care. Yeah, thanks for hooking me up. Swedish Niner fan, what's up?
All right, how you doing, man?
You calling from Sweden?
Yeah. Just
we had a dude from Norway on about an hour ago. What's up?
I heard that, man. I was so stoked.
He was good. He said
I might try and hit him up and see if I can go to Norway and watch some football. That'd be amazing.
If he's watching, man, hit him up.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hit me up, dude.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so I've been thinking about the whole organization and how they kind of approach, decision making from I guess kind of like a risk reward type perspective. Because it seems to me like the whole organization makes so many incredibly risky decisions with both their drafting and for sure their trading. And that goes back the whole John Lynch, Shanahan kind of era.
Yes.
And which also obviously makes their whole like brick by brick narrative sounds like utter nonsense to me, right?
Yes.
Yes. But I wonder, like, if you could understand or kind of project this year's draft as far as quarterbacks go throughout that sort of narrative, like which one would be the riskiest but like the best reward type decision at quarterback this year?
Justin Fields, because he's a supreme athlete. Him and Trey Lance are the two best athletes. And Justin Fields also has the accuracy. He's got a rare combination of speed and downfield accuracy. There's not that many quarterbacks in the league that can run around and bomb it down the field. Like Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, there's only a few. But his decision-making scares me. And as you mentioned, decision-making is an important thing. It's not like, from what my understanding, it's not something that adults really improve on. It's something that you either have or you don't, and you express that ability at a pretty young age, which is why there are, people running platoons in the military who are pretty young, because you can there are managers in the world who are pretty young. You can either do it or you can't. It's a skill. So if the Niners couldn't coach up Jimmy in that department, are you sure you can do it with Justin Fields? That's why I wonder if he could be a bust.
Would they learn from their mistakes though?
They might. I mean, if they had that much trouble and frustration trying to coach up Jimmy's mental part of the game, then why would they feel confident they could do it with another guy?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I'd be frustrated and think, I'm not going to have one of these kind of guys in the building ever again. But I mean,
it doesn't mean he's not smart. Decision making is its own thing.
Oh yeah,
and you either got it or you don't. And I'm not sure about Justin Fields.
Right.
Yeah.
So another question pops to mind is, I mean, I kind of look at sports in general as being, if you look at it historically, obviously you have franchises that are more successfully over like not only 5 years, but 10, 20, 50 years, right? And it seems to me the NFL, there are like, 3 or 4 of those franchises. You got like, the Green Bay Packers are always good and the Steelers are essentially always good as well. So
right.
There certainly must be something in, the mentality and the culture that's like ingrained in the walls of those buildings or those offices that make them better decision makers when it comes to the NFL. So what do you think that might be, and where could the Niners improve on that? I mean, that's
a great question.
Really, right?
I feel like those are organizations who put the right people in positions of management. They put good decisions makers in positions of management. And the problem with the Niners is the guy who's in charge is Jed York, who did not get that position because of any type of acumen at anything. He didn't demonstrate skill in management, in business, in anything. He just inherited the team. So he doesn't know what good decision-making entails, looks like, sounds like, smells like. He doesn't know. And so he puts other people who aren't good decision makers in positions of power that need to, you know what I'm saying? And it's
then
just
fragile. Then his fragile ego can't handle when that ever gets successful either. So
and it's not even that he has a fragile ego, because he does. He does. It's not just that he just doesn't know what good decision making is. He wouldn't know it if it bit him on the face, to use a mixed metaphor. But I'm just saying. So I'm guessing the Steelers have had they've had the Rooneys or owning that team forever. They have a good structure. They understand what's needed for people to manage other people, and they just do it right. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, they end up with, especially Green Bay, I feel they end up with pretty vanilla teams every other year. But then again, they always make the bloody playoffs too. So
they're consistent.
They're definitely consistent. And it seems to me they take less risk when it comes to managing their players and managing the product they put on field.
Yeah, agree. Hey,
all right, thanks
for
a lot,
calling
man.
in from Sweden.
Appreciate
Great call.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sweden and Norway represented big time today. I just want to say they definitely acquitted their countries well. I'm going to take one last call, and it's Andrew. Andrew, you're back.
Can you hear me?
I can. Let's talk.
Yes. All right. So I know you're about to end the show, so I'll just run through my questions here. You could cut me off at any time.
Okay.
My first question was, if we draft McCorkle, which I really hope we do not, but do you think if we do that, Kyle would be interested in drafting Mac Jones for the same reasons that maybe Bill Belichick would be drafting the non-flashy guy, someone that they could really, if he does succeed, say, hey, I built this guy. I know what I'm doing. I am the best quarterback, or best coach, kind of ego-driven. What are your thoughts?
I mentioned this earlier today, but I think Mac Jones would appeal to coaches because coaches are more focused on your mistakes. Coaches are negative. They're like, you're making me look bad. I didn't tell you to do that. Throw the ball here. The play was open. The guy was there. The play worked. They're more concerned about you making them look bad. GMs are more concerned about upside because they don't have to bring it out of a player. The coach does. So I think teams that are run by strong coaches, New England, the 49ers, teams where the coaches make the final call would like Mac Jones. Teams that have strong general managers freaking won't. No.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's a coach's dream.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm all for Kyle Pitts at number 3. I really am. I would love to have one of these nice quarterbacks, but you just don't know. So my follow-up on that would be, since we lost Kendrick Bourne, can Kyle Pitts replace him in that sense?
Oh my God. He would be 100 times better than Kendrick Bourne at everything Kendrick Bourne does. And nothing against Kendrick Bourne, but as the possession receiver who catches the first downs and is like the main guy in the red zone, man, Kyle Pitts would take the offense to a whole different level. Yes, that would be a perfect replacement. And they wear the same number, so you wouldn't even notice the difference.
Right. And I was looking them up earlier. So KB is 6'1", 203 pounds. Kyle Pitts is 6'6", 240.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and in the red zone threat, we're replacing that right away. I'm all for it.
Now, remember, the replacement for Bourne was supposed to be Jalen Hurd. And Jalen Hurd is 6'4", 230. So, yeah, the bigger the better here.
Yeah, definitely. From my understanding, it's too late to have Jimmy take a pay cut, right?
Yes.
Because I was really hoping that we would restructure his contract. We would be, I can imagine Kyle sitting down Jimmy and being like, look, man, you've been injured, for 2 years already. We need to reallocate some of the money. We'd love to keep you. We hope that we could restructure you. If you do take a pay cut, if you come early to practice, we'll have pancakes for you in the morning. Something like that, Hey, come on, Jimmy. Just come on. Work with us here, I was really hoping
chocolate chip pancakes.
Whatever you like, sprinkles, whatever you need. We'll have someone come give you a massage, shave you up, whatever, full spa day. But, my last question would be that, does Kyle have confidence in this class fully for whatever quarterback he chooses? Do you really think that this is like either out of desperation, which I think it is, or do you really think like, look, I'm finally getting my chance at my guy. I have number 3. Let's hope that he gets whoever he gets. But do you really think that he has his full confidence behind this young man, whoever it would be, or is he just choosing the guy with the best chin line? I mean, what is it? I don't know. Kyle's just like, show me the chin lines. That's all I care about.
It feels like plan B. So how much conviction can he really have, man? It feels like they wanted Deshaun Watson. I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think?
I would have loved Deshaun Watson. He's proven. I'm not sure if we could have gotten him with the package that we recently dished out for number 3. Maybe. I would have loved Deshaun Watson. I was all for it. I was already envisioning him in the red and gold, looking up to see if his jersey's on sale, looking what to do with my Jimmy G jersey. I have a Jimmy G jersey and I have a Kaepernick jersey. So I think I'm going to hold off on quarterback jerseys for now, for a little while.
You might want to wait and let a guy keep the job for 4 or 5 years before you make that kind of investment, man. Maybe you should sell those on. Maybe you should let Jimmy jersey now. I don't know.
I know, right? I don't
yeah.
know. We'll see.
Right.
But,
well, I'm glad I got you back on the show, man. I got to wrap this up. It's getting to be a long one, man. But have a good one. Nice hat. Man. Like it.
I'll call back.
Yes, all right, sir. Man. Take care. Yeah. All right, dude. Thanks, everyone, for calling in. Sorry the people I didn't get to today. This was an hour and a half Cohn phone. These things will go on forever if I didn't cut them off. So I apologize, but I'll be back soon. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.